Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Mathew. I'm a local real estate agent and I'm here with Forney's favorite financial advisor, Ms. Fay Headley. Hello, Ms. Headley.
Hello, so nice to have you here.
Awesome, perfect.
Yes.
I'm very excited for this interview, so let's just get right to it.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about your background and the journey that got you into financial planning.
Okay, that's a great question. I'm originally from Jamaica, and I came here to go to college some time ago. And when did my tertiary education here, and went back home.
Okay.
To work in the family business.
Okay.
I'm from an entrepreneurial family. Everybody in my family is an entrepreneur.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, so worked in the family business for a while, and then met my husband. It was time to, and we moved back to the States.
Okay. Wow.
He also did his tertiary education here as well. Went back home. We met, and we came back here.
Okay.
After a while, got into banking, worked in banking for a while. But banking wasn't supplying all the answers for my clients. I didn't have enough guns.
Okay.
So that kind of led me to going to pursue a master's in financial planning at Texas Tech.
Okay.
And after that, Edward Jones just seemed like such a natural fit. Now I could really help all my clients. I had the investments, I had the banking experience, all of that. Put it together, and it's a perfect fit now for what I do for my clients every day.
Wow. Perfect. Perfect. Now, many people may have this question, but what is financial planning?
Financial planning is an ongoing process. It never really stops. It's a series of steps that put your financial life together. In my practice, I use a 5-step process.
Okay, perfect.
We start by assessing where you are, when we first get together.
Okay.
And that could mean, how much you make, what you're saving, etc. Then we get to your goals. Where do you want to be?
Okay.
I want to retire at 65. I want to send my kids to college. I want to go on a vacation every year, or twice a year.
Yeah.
After that, after I get all that information, then I do my little nerdy thing, run the numbers, and see if it's possible.
Okay.
With, the plan that you currently have.
Okay.
If it's not, I give you solutions, or both of us come up with solutions as to how you can get there. And the fifth and the final part of the whole process is actually staying on track throughout the years. So as I said, it's always going. It never stops. It's just a continuous process to get you to your financial, whatever your financial goal is.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for that overview of the whole process. That's a lot of people probably have questions. I know I had questions about it. So thank you for going over that whole process. That way everybody listening can understand what goes into this whole process. Now, another question a lot of people probably have is, can I do my own financial planning, and what's the difference in hiring a professional like yourself?
That's a great question. Of course you could do your financial planning. I usually, tell people when they ask me that, we all can brush our own teeth. But we still have to show up once or twice a year, twice preferably, to the dentist to get it professionally done. Because we just can't get to some of those places. We don't do that great a job. Similarly, if we have heart problems, we don't treat ourselves, right? You'd want a cardiologist doing your surgery, and not your neighbor. Just like financial planning. Financial planning is serious work. You've worked very hard for your money. You don't want to trust your money to a novice. You want to have the professionals do it.
Yeah, that's so true. And why learn from your own mistakes when somebody who's been trained in this can guide you through the whole process? So
true.
So true. What distinguishes a financial advisor, and what should someone look for in a financial advisor? Okay,
great question. One of the first things you want to look for is to make sure that they are qualified.
Okay.
There are lots of people who call themselves financial advisors, but you want one who is qualified. It's best to try and find someone who is a certified financial planner.
Okay.
Because they have gone through a specific course, a very tough course of study that, allows them to use that designation.
Okay.
You also want to make sure that they work for an established company, a company that has been around for a long time. For example, like Edward Jones. You also want to make sure that they have been in business for a while. You want experience. You don't want the heart surgeon who is just out of school to be working on your heart. You don't want the person who is just out of, school, etc., to be working with you on the most important thing you probably will do, which is make financial decisions. So you want someone experienced, someone who has the credentials, and someone who I think has been in business for a long time.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that it's so true. Like, if you're gonna basically hand over yourself to someone to help guide you through this major financial decisions, you definitely want that experience and that credibility to back it up and guide you through this process. If someone is getting started and if they're having financial struggles, what would their first steps be to begin this process?
Okay. I would think the first step would be to assess where you are. And how I usually tell, folks, my clients are, folks that I see on a daily basis, when they ask me that question, the first thing you need to do is to sit and assess where you are. Where is my money going? Okay. I usually give folks I meet a little notebook and have them record every penny they spend. And it's good to do that for about a 1 month period. After you've gone through that, then you can go look, see what categories your money is going in. For example, I did that when I was in graduate school. That's how I realized I had a spending habit in one particular category. And I was able to make the adjustments. So once you realize where your money is going, then you can make what we call I don't like to use the B word, the budget, but I call it a spending plan. After you've gone through, you make your spending plan, then you know exactly where your money is going, and then you can start planning. But that's got to be the very first step. Know what you're doing. Know where your money is going. Perfect.
I mean, spending plan, that's a nice little twist on budget, and it makes it a little bit more exciting. So now, you might get this question quite a bit also, but how much should somebody be saving?
You're right. I do get asked that question often, and my answer is usually the same. You've got to pay yourself first, and you've got to put aside. I would like to see people put aside between 10 to 15% at a minimum. And as you get out of debt, pay off your bills, etc., go up to 20 or even 25%. Because you're saving for the one thing in life you can't get a loan for, which is retirement. Nobody gives you a loan for retirement. So you've got to save, and you've got to start early.
Okay, perfect. So I mean, is that like take home pay or like pre-tax pay?
Okay, you can save both ways. I always encourage my clients to pay themselves through their 401k or an IRA, any kind of employer-sponsored plan first. Because that's a tax-deferred contribution, and it goes a longer way. Your money grows a whole lot faster tax-deferred than if you have to pay taxes on it. So you want to make a contribution to your 401k that will at least maximize any kind of match you'll get from your employer.
Perfect.
I say shoot for the maximum. You're gonna be happy you did. Folks are sometimes hesitant to put the maximum in because they don't get a match. I am always quick to tell them, you are the one retiring, not your employer. So you have to do what's in your best interest, which is to save. The only money you have is the money you save. Once you spend it, it's gone.
Perfect. Now, after they meet with you, after they develop a plan, what should their next steps be to maintain that plan and move forward?
Okay, good question. I know there are plans sitting all over the place in the U.S. because people make a plan and then they don't use it. But before my clients leave my office, we have a game plan. So we prioritize what's the most important thing in that plan to do. The most important thing sometimes is paying down their debt, or it could be increasing savings in their 401k. So we make a plan. We start on that. When that is done, then we go to the next goal and the next. So the first thing you want to do is prioritize and, of course, execute. Another very important point is to have someone working with you, like if you have your financial advisor working with you, we'll be able to hold you accountable, because accountability is a very big part in reaching your goals.
That's true. A plan without execution is nothing. It's a dream. So that's
there you go.
Yeah. So that makes perfect sense. Now they have this plan. They're executing on it. How often should they come back and revisit the plan?
Great question again.
Oh, thank you.
We want to revisit the plan anytime there's a life change.
Okay.
And a life change could be as simple as changing jobs.
Okay.
When you change jobs, there's always, a 401k that you could have left behind that we could roll over. If you've had a baby, if you're getting married, if there's a death in the family, if you win the lottery, whatever it is, any kind of major changes would require, I think, another visit to the financial advisor to update that plan, reset your goals. If you paid off a big bill, that's another, because then you'll have more discretionary money that we could be doing something else with.
I see. So that way, so anything major that comes up, any changes that could warrant a financial change in their climate, in their household, revisit the plan. That way they can adjust and go forward.
Yes, because you have to remember too, when we do financial planning, we take care of the whole person. It's not just your money. We also help, in my practice, we help with your estate planning issues. We help with your life insurance issues. We help with, as I said, your college savings. So it's not just your money. We look at you as a total person, and we want to make sure we encompass all of that in the plan. So, you have a better chance of succeeding and meeting all your goals.
Wow.
Not just your financial ones.
Yeah, that is an all-comprehensive plan. That's very extensive. That covers all the needs. So this is a big picture question. Like, what is your goal for your clients?
My goal, when I take a client on, one of the first things I do is spend a lot of time with them. Because the more I know my client, the better it is I'm going to be able to help them to achieve their goals. So I spend a whole lot of time up front getting to know them in those first two steps. Because only then would I be equipped to help them reach their goals. And we do have, as I said in my practice, an established process. Once we get them there, then we continue revisiting, every 6 months, every year, or whenever there's a major change.
Okay, perfect. Now, this is for someone who's just getting started, who has a kind of inquisitive mind. What book recommendation do you have that somebody could read up on to learn a little bit more about finances and investing? The library, and is full of books on investments. And I hesitate to really recommend any one book, but I'm a big fan of Warren Buffett. Just about anything he has written or anything he has read that he has talked about, I have enjoyed reading and I have learned from it. There's one in particular that I remember Warren saying that he read at age 19, and that's The Intelligent Investor. And that's the one I would really recommend, someone just getting started to read. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I know I've learned a lot. I know the listeners have learned a lot. Now, where can someone go to learn more about you and the services that you provide?
Okay, wonderful. They could just come into my office. I'm right here in Forney on Pinson Road. Our office is at 425 Pinson Road. We've been here for 10 years already, and we're expecting to be here for a much longer time. Or they can look us up on the internet, We have an Edward Jones website, and I'm on LinkedIn. So, and I'm also on Facebook.
Okay, perfect.
So we're really easy to get to, and we have a very friendly office.
All right.
Any of my assistants, Darla, Macaulay, or Lynette Foreman, will be more than happy to help anyone who comes in.
Perfect. Well, thank you again so much for your time. I'll link all that in the description below. That way they can find that information pretty readily. But once again, thank you from myself and from all the listeners. I want to thank you for your time and taking your time to explain the whole process. I know people have a lot of questions, but you were great in explaining a lot of the questions that people have. So once again, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you.
All right then.